still think you ought to put that bottle down. Walk on, baby.
Hey everybody, welcome to Inside 3rd and James. I'm your host this week, Joshua Olsen. We're talking this week with Kayla Hruby. She's an artist newly signed to 3rd and James Records. Kayla's one of those people that makes you just want to quit music because she's so good at everything she touches. So we're super excited to have her in studio today and excited for you to get to know her. So let's talk to Kayla. Hi, Miss Kayla.
Hi.
Kayla's nervous.
I am nervous a little bit.
That's stupid. We've been sitting here talking about Christmas sweaters.
Heck yeah, we have.
They don't make Christmas sweaters in my size. That's a true story.
Really?
No, I'm fat. Legitimately.
I'll make you a Christmas sweater. I'll knit it.
Would you?
Yes.
That would be awesome. Do you knit for reals?
I'm learning.
Man, I would love a Christmas sweater. What was the one you were just telling me about?
It says Fleece Navidad with a sheep on it, and it jingles.
I'll take that one.
Okay.
What was the other one?
I have lots of them. There's Santa Claus, but it's CLAWS with a cat on it.
Seriously?
I'm not a crazy cat lady. I have dogs.
I know, but I could rock a cat sweater. What was the other one?
Oh, this one is kind of inappropriate, but it says, the Christmas tree isn't the only thing getting lit this year.
Inappropriate. You are so innocent. It's crazy. And yet she's hanging around 3rd and James people with a bunch of drinking rednecks, which is, we're doing our best to not corrupt her.
Heck yeah.
Well, let's tell you a little bit about Kayla. We actually found Kayla at a Denver Broncos game. My wife and I were at a preseason game, and Kayla was singing the national anthem. And a little backstory here. We were close enough to the field that we could see what was going on the field. And we see this little girl come out. And we noticed that all there was a stage monitor, and she was wearing earplugs. And now that I know the backstory, it's a little bit more interesting because apparently Kayla had lost her in-ear monitors, correct?
Yeah.
Anyway, I turned to my wife and I said, this is going to be rough. And because I know what it's like to sing in large places, number one. And number two, to have to do it with a stage monitor with all that echo. And currently, at the time of the anthem, they said there was like 74,000 in attendance at this preseason game.
Yeah, it was a huge game, and we weren't expecting it to be that big. So
it was a lot of people, and I don't like being uncomfortable, like legitimately. If I'm watching a television show and it's getting awkward, I mute it.
Oh yeah.
I can't stand awkward, and I was already getting uncomfortable. I was like, this is gonna be bad. For reals and truths, I'm not making that up. Anyway. Kayla sings it and just nails the damn thing. Nice job.
Thank you.
Nails it. And so we ended up starting a conversation. Mm-hmm. And then 2 weeks later?
Yeah.
2 weeks later?
2 or 3.
She got asked to do the Monday Night Football opener for the Broncos on September 11th. And she freaking killed it. Went viral again. So Kayla has several viral videos out there, the biggest of which was 3.8 million.
On my at the wrestling state championships.
The wrestling state championships.
Yeah.
And the night she did the national anthem on September 11th, she broke Twitter.
Yeah, I did.
It was awesome. I was following it, and I was sitting there like this proud papa, just yeah, it was awesome. Nice job.
Thank you.
So anyway, needless to say, we got real serious about getting Kayla signed, and then we ended up meeting with her mom and dad and herself and talked it out and figured out how to do it. So welcome to 3rd and James, Kayla.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Tell us, what's it like singing with no in-ear monitors in front of 74,000 people?
Well, my aunt works for Brandon Sand and Gravel, and they do a company picnic every year at August. And
There's a plug.
Yeah, go to Brandon Sand and Gravel. Greatest place. Brannon
Sand and Gravel.
It's a great place to work.
In Broomfield?
Denver.
In
Denver metro area.
Nice.
Yeah, but
for all your sand and gravel needs.
Yeah, definitely. Asphalt, concrete. There's a piping and tunneling section.
Dude, you're gonna get your college paid for if you keep this stuff up.
And they did like kind of an intern thing because I worked there in the summer. And she asked if I wanted to sing before the picnic, and we were in Mile High Stadium for the picnic. And I was like, heck yeah, I do. So I sang, but I didn't bring my in-ears and I didn't bring any earplugs. And it was the slowest national anthem that I've ever sang in my entire life because I was listening for the echo back. So when I got asked to sing, I was like, well, I got to bring something. And I couldn't find my in-ears anywhere. I lost them. And so I brought earplugs. And then, so I step out there, and they're like, do you want the monitor? And I was like, yeah. And you can't hear yourself through that monitor. It doesn't work.
Not with earplugs.
Yeah. No, but even without the earplugs, you don't hear yourself. So
That's true. That's a big space.
Yeah.
It's a big space.
So I just, kept a tempo on my foot and on my hand, and I went for it. But the thing is that at the Broncos Stadium, you have to sing in less than 1:30. And that's pretty fast for a national anthem. I mean,
I didn't realize that. They put a time on you?
Yeah, because especially for TV, like you have to make a certain time
true.
Before the
I didn't think of that.
Commercials come out. Yeah. So I was trying, like in the green room or whatever, which, by the way, is just a vending machine room that you sit in. But you're like trying to go, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's So you're just like going through
the vending machine room. That's awesome.
Yeah.
They get better.
Yeah, no, I
was
was in the vending machine room for the Outlaws game because that was kind of my audition for the preseason game. But they put you up at the club level, and I've gotten to meet some retired players. And
John Elway.
Yes, I didn't get to meet him at the Broncos game, but I sang at his community enrichment award ceremony.
Really?
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I would have squealed a little bit.
Yeah, well, I was so nervous to talk to him that he was trying to talk to me, and I just kept cutting him off because I was like, you're so great. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. And he would like try to say something and I would be like, oh my God, I love you. Ah. And I was like, I'm going to sing at the Broncos Stadium, so watch for me. And he's like, okay, good job. And then he like walked away, and I was like, I hate myself.
For those of you that don't live in Denver, you have to understand that it's kind of like John Elway and then Jesus.
Basically, yeah.
Around here, they got this what's the term? In Elway we trust. Yeah.
Seriously.
Elway's kind of a legend here in Denver.
Yeah, he is.
That's awesome.
Now he's a huge part of the Broncos, so
we're not real happy with this year's choices, Mr. Elway.
Mr. Elway, you need to figure it out.
Man, I don't know what's going on. So I know this is an awkward question, but they brought you in for the Monday night opener, which was Denver against
the Chargers.
And it was in the middle of the whole kneeling thing. Mm-hmm. How awkward was that?
Well, actually, it was nice because nobody kneeled that game. So, yeah.
It was September 11th.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's because of the holiday. But
poor choice.
Yeah. But, a lot of people actually have asked me about the kneeling thing. And I can see both sides to why and why not people like it or don't like it. And I think if people just kind of try to open their eyes up a little bit, they could kind of understand both sides of it and put themselves in both players' shoes when one's standing and one's kneeling.
Absolutely. And that's a very, very political answer. Very good.
Well, it's very controversial. And I don't know.
Right on. Well, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your backstory? So how did you land like in music? I mean, nowadays in the record business, and we know this from firsthand experience because we are a label, it's not very often that people get discovered, right? Especially people who haven't been doing it for a long time, and someone that's still in high school.
Right.
We'll talk a little bit more about that, but this is a really rare situation. Mm-hmm. So why don't you tell us how you started in music and how that landed you in the middle of Mile High Stadium in front of 74,000 people?
Well, I think that everyone's born with something that makes them them, and I think music has always been something that's made me who I am. Like, if you ask my mom, I could hum My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean before I could say my first word. So
you guys really are Irish.
Yeah. But to be honest, my grandma actually had a lot to do with my music. She sold pianos her whole life, or not her whole life, but she worked in a music store and sold pianos, and she could play piano like no other. And she taught me how to dabble in the piano, and then she would always sing with me, and I love singing. And I was in the school plays and musicals in elementary school, but the first time I ever did a solo by myself ever was in 6th grade, and I sang Rolling in the Deep by Adele, and
That's a big bite.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's on YouTube if anyone wants to see me in 6th grade. I have like the Donald Trump comb over going on in that video, but it's okay. And, so after that, my neighbors down the street had a little cover band, and they were all kind of around my age, and they weren't big, but they got to play at some pretty big venues, like at the Boulder, at the People's Fair, and they needed a singer, so they were like, Kayla, you wanna come join? And I was like, sure. So after that, we kind of, got to play everywhere. My favorite venue was at the D-Note, where Coldplay, was it that used to play here? Or it was out of Denver? The Fray, that's it.
Ollie McCracken just walked in the room, folks.
Yeah, he did.
Hello, Ollie.
But the Fray started at the D-Note, so it was cool that I got to sing in the same place that they did. And we used to bring in like 500 people to a 150-room maximum place.
Occupancy.
People would be walking by and literally line up out the door to hear us, because we were pretty good for being 13, 14.
So you were all kids.
15. Yeah, we were young. And so after that, we all kind of broke up, and sad band breakup. My first band breakup ever. It was heartbreaking.
Was it dramatic?
A little bit. It was a little rough, but it was a really good experience. And then, I just kept getting asked to sing the national anthem, because since middle school, I've sang for like Poor Boys Boxing Company, and
they do MMA too, right?
Yeah. Well, I sing not through Poor Boys, but MMA sponsors have seen me at those things and have asked me to sing for them. And so then, at the school at Broomfield, love that place. They're probably the main reason that I have gotten all the opportunities that I have, is because they set me up at all those state championships. But I kind of used the national anthem as my platform. And after that, I got asked to sing at the state wrestling meet. And so I did, and 9 News covered it. And that's when everything blew up. And the Denver Broncos reached out and said, hey,
that kind of more than blew up.
Yeah, it's 3.8 million.
3.8 million views is that's viral on anybody's scale.
Yeah. After that, I thought it was over. Like, I thought I got my 5 seconds of fame or whatever, and Ellen DeGeneres even contacted me about my national anthem. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. And then
I love me some Ellen.
Yeah, so do I. Love her.
I do. Everybody loves Ellen. I love that she scares people.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
It's the best.
Yeah. But I thought I got 5 seconds of fame, and I was, excited for that. And then all of a sudden, I sent my little thank you note to the Broncos and was like, thanks for letting me perform if you ever need somebody. And they go, well, actually, the person who was supposed to sing on Monday Night Football just dropped out. And some of the players specifically asked if you would come back and sing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
very cool.
Came back. Millions of people on ESPN watched me sing, and yeah.
Wow. So then all of a sudden you're thrust into interview after interview after interview.
9 News, 7 News, Fox 31, all of them were at my house the next day. I had radio interviews on that Wednesday, and I didn't go to school that whole week. My principal even goes, is that little shit going to come to school? And then I was like, hey, I'm here. And she's like, oh, hi, Angel. And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I was taking calls on you from other parts of the country, out on the West Coast and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I mean, it had one hell of an impact. So that launched you into your record deal, which is we're super excited about. We're looking to release Kayla's first EP the beginning of the year, beginning of 2018. Really excited about that. So tell us what's that been like? You're 17 years old. You have a soccer scholarship to go back to Virginia to go to school. You're still in high school, graduating early for kind of for us. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
To put in more time on making your record and all the stuff that's coming up for you. What has signing a record deal at 17 years old, still in high school, what's that been like?
Well, first and foremost, it's so surreal. Like, when people ask you what you're doing with your life right now, you say, well, it's weird to say, but I'm kind of a recording artist. Like, that title is just like, holy crap, like, that's crazy. But I've been, all my friends and family are always like, hey, don't change, stay yourself, because I think it's easy for people to lose their morals or sights or
Absolutely.
Whatever. But it's sad because I told my mom this, everyone keeps telling me not to change, but it's everyone else around me who's changing and not me.
Sure.
And so it's a little weird because I have a lot of friends who, all they talk about now is the record deal or when my show is or, whatever. And like, you would think that people would bite their tongues, but everyone's so blunt, just like, hey, do you get like tickets now? Can we get some? Like, no, I don't get tickets. I sit in a studio and we write music. Like,
right.
And I think there's a lot of glam and stuff that people think that come with this, which is absolutely true. But right now it's just me sitting down and doing what I love and
doing the work.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that, and even artists that we work with that are much older than you deal with that, where you spend a lot of years in music. Most people, unlike yourself, who kind of came in it early, but and you're always looking toward that record deal, and then you get the record deal, and all of a sudden you find yourself in the middle of work, and there's all that glamour and glitch you think until you sit down and you're starting to do the work, because folks, we're working.
Yeah.
Like, we're in here multiple times a week writing songs, doing podcasts, recording reference tracks, listening, trying to figure out what's going to work, what's not going to work, defining hooks and all different kinds of things. That it's not what everybody thinks it is. Like you're sitting around just, drinking mimosas with Lady Gaga or something. Hey, Ollie.
That one got me.
That's one of my dreams. Me and the lady, me and the Gaga, hanging out, chilling, talking about life and family. No, there's after the work's done, there's a lot of really fun stuff, you get to do, but at the same time, there's a crap ton of work that goes into that.
Yeah.
How are you managing that? How do you balance it? Because I'll tell you what, being pervy to your calendar, I could use a better word.
You probably.
I think it's privy.
Privy. Being privy to your calendar. Wow. Okay, whatever that word is, having access to your calendar. Heck, you're busier than me.
Yeah.
Like, constantly. Soccer, school, choir, church, friends, record stuff, music. How do you balance?
I think a lot of the time, I just take it one step at a time, and I've been having to learn the real meaning of that saying recently, but, just staying organized for sure. You wake up, go to school, come down here to the label, go to soccer, come home, do homework, go to bed, and then next day, go to school, come to the label, go sing a national anthem, go to soccer, go home, do homework.
Dude, I feel so bad for you.
It's not, like, I think a lot of people are like, dang, like, you're just so busy, but that's how my life has always been. Like, if I'm sitting around just doing nothing, watching TV, like, I start, like, freaking out. I'm like, I should be doing something. Like I've never been a person who just, sits and does nothing for more than a couple hours.
Well, that's like what we were talking about before we started recording. I was having a conversation about you this week with someone, talking about this thing in the music business that we call the it factor, and it's the difference between someone who has that something that helps them succeed, right? Well, sometimes, and I honestly believe this, that something is nothing more than just, number one, a killer personality, but number two, a work ethic.
Yeah.
Right? And the ability to just, like, get their shit together and do something.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, I for one, have been incredibly impressed with your work ethic, and it's awesome, at least now from our standpoint, to have somebody like yourself who is absolutely dedicated to this process. So we're excited. We think you got big things ahead of you, girl.
Yeah, well, it's just exciting because I think, like we said before, I think everyone expects the fame and the fortune and the glamour of it, but a lot of artists have their songs written for them and don't have anything to do with it, and I want my music to come from a place that is from me, and I want to be able to write my own stuff and be able to write about things that I've gone through and seen other people go through. And like, I just want to be authentic because, anybody can write me a song about, my puppy dying or something, or falling in love with a boy.
I was going to say, this is country music, so it's got to be you're falling in love with somebody.
Or about big green
tailgate.
tractor sitting on a tailgate. Yeah, but I mean, and I could definitely write that, but I want to, I also want to write about the experiences I've been through and, stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
I'm excited for the work because when we sat down and you said, this is not glamorous at first, we're just going to be here working. I was excited. Like, I feel like a lot of people would be turned off to that idea, but
they are.
I want to be able to put myself into the writing too.
Yeah. And you have. We've written with how many people? You and me write a lot.
Yeah.
You and Ollie McCracken here have written.
Sunshine
James, Sean Grant, Aaron Roth, the whole group. We did full band writing.
Oh, that was so cool.
That was fun. So, yeah, and you really are. I mean, folks, if anybody tells you that people are writing songs for Kayla,
it's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a stinking lie.
She's legitimately sitting down and writing with real writers.
Yeah, you should see my notebook. It's crazy. It's just like chicken scratch because we just keep revising
Tell us about
it.
that, because we've talked about that. I think that's an interesting dynamic too, because you had to process this.
Well,
where we start ripping your songs apart, which is not fun for grown-ups.
It's like my baby.
Like for writers who've been writing for 20 years, they hate it. Not just that, we rip apart the ones that you're really, really dedicated to, right? Have a lot of emotional attachment to.
Oh, yeah.
And then some songs where we'll go through your book and just pull like one or two lines out of a song, making that song like completely irrelevant.
Yeah,
now.
and then you can't even use all the hard work that I did. No, I'm just kidding.
So what's that like? As you're now transitioning from sitting in your room, with your ukulele writing songs to now writing for the actual market.
Yeah.
I mean, your record's going to be distributed worldwide, so what's that like? It's a whole new world. Tell us about that process.
Well, I'm very organized. I'm a color coder. I mean, my planner, each class has a different color. My agenda has its own separate colors. And then walking in, I have,
How bad are you feeling about yourself right now, Ollie?
Down here, man.
All right, go ahead.
I have a certain amount of space for verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus, and then all of a sudden we're scratching it and we're writing in the margins, and it's just like OCD craziness.
Overload.
Yeah, like I start shaking, I start having spasms because it's so unorganized. No, it's cool though, because I feel like when I look back on my pages, I'm gonna be like, look at how much progress this went through, and but I definitely write different than what the market likes, and I've had to kind of learn how to write a market song, because I like to switch things up in the middle of a song, and that's not good. It has to be straight to the point. And so it's definitely been a learning curve, but I am glad that I'm learning these skills, especially so young, and I think you've made mention of it a lot of times in our writing sessions, but you said, learning this skill at such a young age, it's going to set you for life for whenever you're writing songs later down the road. So
Absolutely. I mean, this is stuff that even for me, I started pro at 19, so not too much older than you. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't writing songs. It took me until way later. And then I came in with in the exact same spot as you. Like, I had all these songs that I thought were kick-ass.
Amazeballs.
Yeah. It's like then you realize, you get signed and you start putting your material on the table, and your producer's telling you, yeah, it's just not good.
Yeah.
You know, or I don't think I've ever said that.
No, you are very nice to me because, my feelings would get hurt
No,
real
I don't
fast.
think they would. You're pretty tough. And if you did, she's like driving home crying. She never does it here in front of us.
Save your tears for your pillow.
No, that's good.
No, you've been tough as nails. It's been awesome. But no, I mean, this is a discipline that people don't learn as early as you're learning it. And you are a great writer, so it's awesome. We're not having to come in and have whole new themes and things. I mean, you're coming in with good material, and we're just moving it around a little bit. So tell us about, I know you and I have talked about this because we came up with where we're going to land you in the market, but when you first came in, I thought we were going to be kind of more in that pop kind of country thing,
right,
which is where I thought you would want to be. And then we started talking, and that wasn't the case. So tell the listeners, your heart for country music and kind of where you've decided that you want to land.
Well, I grew up listening to George Strait and Garth Brooks and
We're
Alan
George
Jackson.
Strait buddies.
Yeah, and my dad used to always play it in the car when we were driving to soccer practice or wherever we were going. And when I fall asleep on the couch, my dad still turns on Pandora to the George Strait channel, and it's like the best day ever when you wake up to country music. But I've grown up around it, and my whole family on my dad's side is from Wisconsin, so we polka all night and we drink a lot of whiskey. Except me, I don't. I'm 17. I can't.
Did you hear how quickly she started defending that? I was coming for you there, Kayla. I was.
I saw you pick up your mic. I had to clarify real fast. No, so I grew up around that, and I have always had a soft spot for country music in my heart. And then when Josh said that I was able to have pedal steel in my songs, I kind of had a fangirl moment.
You did. I don't think I've ever seen a girl fangirl over the pedal steel or the dobro.
Yeah, and I was in heaven, and I don't know. I think country music is really, really cool, and I think that a lot of the country music now is heading towards that pop realm, and I want to be able to bring back country a little bit and bring back my roots.
But still my beating heart. Kayla, you're my favorite person ever.
Maybe one day I'll be able to duet with George Strait or Garth Brooks or Alan Jackson.
That'd be killer. That's how Taylor launched her career.
I want to so bad. Or Tim McGraw.
Oh, Tim.
I went to his concert with Faith Hill.
Are we having a moment?
We're having a moment.
I'm a Tim McGraw fan too, yeah. No, I think it's awesome. I think you're right. I think country music, there's nothing wrong with it. Pop is, we do that here. But I'm with you. I think that there's a really neat space somewhere in between that pop stuff and that super traditional stuff that I think you're going to fit in real nice. So I'm excited about it. Okay, so what were you listening to in your car on the way over here today?
Well, obviously country music, but I have this whole playlist that I love to listen to, and it has people like Brett Eldridge, Dylan Scott, sorry, I'm looking at it, Lanco, Thomas Rhett, Blake Shelton, Brett Young, love him. All his new stuff is so good.
What about girls? You listen to any girls?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I like Lauren Elena. I like, what's that one song? I have two. The one that's like, I could use a love song. That one.
That didn't help.
Jana Kramer.
Jana Kramer.
Yeah. Oh, Ashley McBride. I've never heard of her until I got Apple Music, and then Kelsey Ballerini, Maren Morris. That's the one that is I Could Use a Love Song, and then Little Big Town.
I played with them.
I know you did.
Back in the day.
Oh, Scotty McCreery, 5 More Minutes.
OMG.
Oh my gosh.
Scotty with his Scotty McCreery voice.
Okay, but 5 More Minutes is such a good song. And I can relate to it so hard because...
What happened to Scotty McCreery? He just kind of like flash in the pan and then kind of disappeared.
Well, he's coming back now.
After
Idol, he dropped off the face of the planet. And then now he's coming back. And
we sounded a little... What's that?
Did he win that?
Yeah.
He
won over Lauren Elena.
Wow. Yeah, he kind of sounded a lot like Sounded a lot
Patricia
like
won.
Josh Turner.
What?
I think he sounded a lot like Josh Turner. Like
Oh,
too
yeah.
much like Josh Turner.
You got that one.
Yeah.
Florida Georgia line. No, you don't like them?
I didn't say that.
You went, ugh.
Not at all. I think Florida Georgia Line's incredible.
wait,
in case
what's-
their management's listening right now and they plan on recording in Denver.
What's that one song? Oh, Carly Pierce. Every Little
I
Thing.
don't think I've ever heard of Carly Pierce. Oh, here we go. Oh, how did I know it would be a ballad?
I love ballads.
She does. So, 17 years old, that is a far cry from my life. Like, we live different lives.
Yeah.
What is the life of a 17-year-old girl like today? What do you do with your friends? What do 17-year-olds do now?
Well,
I was 17 in a very small town.
yeah.
So we just drank and shot at stuff. Literally.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of times we, are at my friend's house just chilling out, hot tubbing.
Hot tubbing.
It's so nice. Except I just got surgery on my elbow and I put my arm in the water and I don't think that was a very smart idea.
Not only that, but nobody wants to look at that.
Yeah. It's not bad. I thought the scar was going to be worse, but it's not too bad. But
You look like Miss Roboto.
I know. Oh my Mr. Roboto. I don't know the first words. Can we make a blooper section?
So you're basically doing the exact same thing as we did. That's
Well, we drive up to Boulder a lot and there, go on a hike or go on Pearl Street. There's a lot of street performers there. Go down to Denver on the 16th Street Mall, Union Station.
You go hiking on purpose?
Yeah.
You don't get that, do you?
I don't get that.
You just don't get it.
I live in Colorado.
Well, in Boulder,
I do not
okay,
hike
I
on
don't
purpose.
do crazy hikes. I went to in Boulder. It's Chautauqua Park, and it's not too bad. It's only a mile.
It doesn't matter. Last time my wife said, she goes, "Let's go on a hike," and I'm like, "I don't want to." She said it's just like a walk, and I'm like, okay.
In Boulder, it's like a walk, kind of.
Yeah, that's not true.
Did you go to Boulder?
We were up above Golden, dude. It was
Oh, did you go to Lookout in Golden?
yes, from the bottom up.
Yeah.
That's not a walk.
Yeah, that one's a little tough.
I nearly died.
Oh.
I nearly died.
Try Mount Bierstadt. Okay, I've never done a 14er in my life, and then my soccer coach, who is
Captain Fit.
Yeah, I don't even know. We did this 14er, started at 11,000 feet, and half the team was running up the mountain, and I don't even know how they were. And
The mountain. Do you hear the mountain?
Oh, sorry.
Big shot, man.
The mountain.
And then the other half, which I was in, we're counting out, okay, let's take 50 steps, and then we'll take a break.
See, that's my kind of hiking. The way I figured, if I'm going up a mountain, look behind me, because the water's rising. There's no other reason why I'm going up a hill. None. Wow. So 17's pretty much like it's always been.
Yeah.
It's just with a lot more technology.
Yeah. But I'm so excited because the Boulder Star is up. So now you can drive up the mountain and go to the Star.
What's that?
So in Boulder, they from November to January, they set up this really huge lit up star, and people can drive up to it and then climb a little bit up the mountain and sit there, and you are inside this lit up star, and then you're looking over Boulder. So cool. So
You go inside the star?
Yeah.
Huh?
We should go.
Can you drive up to it?
Yeah.
Then I'm in.
I mean, you have to walk up the mountain. You have to
You're losing them.
Well, it's not far. It's 3 steps. It's just the little,
I can handle 3 steps.
and then you walk up to the star, and then you're good.
I like it. I could do that.
We could do a Christmas photo there. Christmas card from 3rd and James.
We actually were talking about that last night.
Oh,
My wife was saying that we need to do a family picture this year. A 3rd and James family picture.
I think that's a great
And she
idea.
was saying she thinks that, since it's the holiday season, she thinks it should be something ridiculous, ridiculous sweaters. You
I'm
could wear
in.
your Feliz Navidad
My
sweater.
Feliz Navidad.
Not fleece, I guess it is.
With a sheep.
You're going to have to knit me my sweater.
Okay.
Because they don't make them in my sizes.
I bet they do.
I don't think they do.
At Kohl's they do, I think.
They have a fat guy section.
I wouldn't say you're fat.
I would. There's no way around it.
There's one where it's like the elf body and then the neck and then your head is like proportional to the neck. So it looks like you're a mini elf with a huge head.
That would be cool.
It's so good.
Make that happen.
Okay.
You know what we could do is just buy a sweater that doesn't fit, and then you could cut it and just sew in the extra real estate. That'd be a possibility. So, before we go, 2 questions.
Okay.
I got asked this in my podcast last week.
Oh, man. Nervous.
So, a little different for you. So, for any young artists that are out there, and we know there are, that follow you because we see them all over your social media.
Right.
What advice do you give them?
Well, more than anything, you know, even if your dream seems impossible, keep going and following it because, you know, that's the biggest thing. I mean, somebody reached out to me the other day and was like, you know, I see you all over social media and I just want to know. And, you know, I felt for him because seriously, a couple months ago, I was in his position. And, you know, just don't give up because, like that song, who I don't know who sings it, but keep on dreaming even if it breaks your heart. Like,
I think that's AC/DC.
no,
Metallica?
it's a country
I'm
music.
kidding.
No, but yeah, follow your dreams and, you know, hard work pays off. You know, you can't make a dream come true unless you work towards it and you work hard, because if you just sit around waiting for somebody to come up to you and say, "Hey, you're really great, let me sign you," it's never going to happen or whatever, you know?
Well, it kind of happened.
Don't say that.
I mean, you're right. It's absolutely not normal.
Like, you have to create
absolutely not
opportunities for
normal.
yourself in order to be
Yeah.
seen, because
True.
if you don't, you know, squeaky wheel gets the oil. Is that it? Squeaky.
I think that's close.
Not
Gets
the
the
oil. Grease. Yeah. You know, I mean, you have to kind of rock the boat to be seen. And whether you're, you know, trying to be a doctor or trying to be a professional sports player or trying to be a musician or whatever you want to do, like, you have to work hard towards it. Because if you just go through life without putting any stitch of effort in it, you can't expect anything out. You have to put in what you're trying to get out of it.
Love it. That's true. I mean, I would not have sang the national anthem in front of that many people. I'm not kidding. I have artists that I have tried to put into scenarios like that wouldn't do it. Just because there's so much possibility of screwing it up.
Yeah.
And then you don't come back from that for a while. Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah,
he's
worst
right.
national anthem ever. You know,
If you
like
didn't hear Ollie, he said that sometimes that's what goes viral. You screwing up. So,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So, what's it like being the little sister around here? Like, you overnight got half a dozen big brothers.
True.
You were the only girl signed at 3rd and James.
Yeah.
What's it like having a whole new crew of big brothers?
Well, it's actually pretty awesome because I'm the oldest in my family, so I've never had I have my mom and whatever, but you can't.
And your brother's younger than you, right?
Yeah, he's 13. But I mean, I've grown up around older boy cousins, and it's really nice to just have people on the label that you feel close enough with to, write your heart out. Like this, writing music is a very vulnerable thing. Like you're opening the floodgates when you share your music. So it's really nice to be surrounded by a ton of people who share the same passion as you, and there's no judgment, there's no anything. So, I mean, I felt very welcomed as soon as I walked in the door before I was even a artist here. And
now we're all super overprotective.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
I love it though, because I've never had an older sibling to do that, so.
Any shout outs? You afraid to forget somebody?
Yeah, I'm a little afraid to forget somebody. Just thanks for all your likes and comments and subscriptions and for all the support over the years. I mean, you guys were here before I was going viral on YouTube. Thanks for just supporting me through all of it. And I'm excited that you guys are still catching up on me. So
we can find you where?
On Instagram, under Kayla Hruby, on Twitter, under Kayla Hruby Music, Facebook, Kayla Hruby Music, YouTube. I have a channel, subscribe to Follow La Fridays. Those are really fun.
That's right. Weekly Follow Love Fridays with Kayla.
Heck yeah.
This
No
is-
week for those.
yeah,
They're
I
super
think we
fun.
all
I'm
do.
super dorky, but it's okay.
Your website, KaylaHruby.com. Or is it KaylaHrubyMusic.com?
Kayla Music.
KaylaHrubyMusic.com. And on Instagram, it's KAYY, right?
Yeah, because somebody already has Kayla Hruby. So I had to put 2 Y's in.
And 2 L's, right, or something.
No, just 2 Y's on both of them.
KAYYLA.
HRUBYY.
Gotcha. Kayla Hruby, Instagram. Awesome. Well, Kayla, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me. This is super fun.
We're super, super excited for this record. We're hoping and planning on dropping your first single sometime in probably January.
Yeah, so watch out for that.
Watch
Listen
out for
in.
that. That'll be available anywhere you can buy music.
Yep.
So iTunes, Spotify, Google, Amazon, you name it, you'll be there.
Super exciting.
We'll do that. So next week, we'll have, I believe, Ollie McCracken on the podcast. So stay tuned for that next week, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.